around me every day and where I live. So, and my poem is called Family Traditions, New York and Dominican Republic. Okay. I remember hearing bachata and merengue even before I entered the yard. I remember not being able to sit still as the plane was landing. I remember my hunger rising like the smoke when the charcoal was tossed into the grill. I remember I remember climbing into the back of a pickup truck. I remember the adults drinking beer and talking about politics. I remember being covered by the dust from the road. I remember standing on the pegs as my cousin rode his bike. I remember hugs and kisses from family and friends. I remember playing catch and getting hit while doing so. I remember collecting coconuts that fell to open them up and drink the juice. I remember being followed by my aunt everywhere I went, rolling my eyes when she told me, "Say cheese." I remember little green lizards climbing up the walls. I remember the sound of Mr. Softy's ice cream truck at the corner of the street. I remember sitting under the mango tree to escape the heat. I remember being whistled to by men with bloodshot eyes, then hiding behind my cousin when that happened. I remember waking up to roosters instead of alarm clocks. I remember red, white, and blue lights flashing as the police cars patrolled the streets. I remember shivering even before I stepped into the ice-cold shower. I remember chewing on ice to keep cool. I remember playing tag all day long and not getting tired. I remember the jingle of change as I paid for sour Skittles at the deli. I remember scratching my arms and legs feverishly because of mosquito bites. I remember the thundering noise as the 7 train passed above us. I remember dipping my feet in El Rio and then admitting I didn't know how to swim. I remember a tangle of arms as we passed each other ketchup, mustard, and other things. I remember freeing from my life as we drove up a steep and bumpy curve in the mountains. I remember refusing to eat hot dogs after I learned what was in them. I remember men and women selling empanadas and dulce on the side of the road. I remember discussing which Harry Potter book was best. I remember relaxing on a hammock, swinging back and forth and back again. I remember being asked if I wanted more food and saying no again and again and again. I remember rain pouring down from the sky, beating on the roof like a drum. I remember glass shattering on the floor when I dropped a cup of soda, then being handed a new one, except this time it was plastic. I remember picking coffee beans right from the tree. I remember sitting on the front steps with my cousins and getting up every time someone had to pass through. I remember the acrid smell of smoke as my grandfather smoked cigars. I remember the girls being told to clean up while the boys continued to play. I remember avoiding the eyes of older men as they watched me walk to the colmado. I remember being told to play inside because it was getting dark. I remember paying with bills that had the faces of Juan Pablo Duarte and Gregorio Luperón. I remember being told to play inside because it was getting dark. I remember pesos in my pocket instead of dollars. I remember my cousin whining, "Can we go inside?" I remember water fights and tree climbing. I remember climbing through the window to get inside because I was too lazy to walk all the way around the house. I remember there being motorcycle traffic instead of car traffic. I remember the glare coming from the television as we watched the Mets game. I remember not missing New York at all. I remember my parents telling me to get ready to leave and then waiting half an hour after doing so. Thanks.